In the ever-evolving world of technology, where does Linux stand? Where's it headed? Linux is an open source operating system. It's been a game changer in the tech sphere from its humble beginnings as a personal project of Linus Torvalds. It's grown into a robust software platform that powers everything from servers and supercomputers to smartphones, home appliances, and yes, even desktop computers. What does the future hold for Linux? Will it continue to grow and evolve, or will it be overshadowed by some other emerging technology? Today, we're going to take a speculative journey into the future, and we're going to explore what Linux might look like in 5, 10, and maybe 15 years. That's a pretty long way away in technology years. But we're going to delve into some trends and shaping its development. We're going to talk about some challenges and opportunities that Linux might encounter, what role it could play in the future of technology. So sit back, relax, as they say, and enjoy the ride. And join us in this journey into the future of Linux. I often say I don't have a crystal ball, but if we could use one, we could gaze into it, and we might see several major trends that are beginning to take shape in the future of Linux. I think a key trend that continues to shape Linux is its unwavering focus on open source software and security. Linux's open source nature allows for continuous evolution. It's driven by the collective intelligence of developers around the world. This focus on openness goes hand in hand with an emphasis on security, and as you've seen, vulnerabilities can quickly be identified and patched. That strengthens the system's overall resilience. Then there's the growth of the cloud computing and containerization. This is significant as more businesses turn to Linux to power their cloud-based applications. Containerization technologies like Kubernetes are playing a prominent role here, allowing developers to manage and scale their applications efficiently. As the cloud continues to expand, Linux's role in this space is likely to grow. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are also making their mark on Linux. These technologies have the potential to automate and optimize many aspects, not only of our lives, but also of the operating system, from systems management to performance optimization, and yes, even defense against security threats. We're beginning to see this integration already, and the trend is expected to accelerate in the future. Finally, the emphasis on user friendliness and easier adoption is a trend that's gaining momentum. Historically, Linux has been seen as an operating system for the tech-savvy users, but recent advancements aim to make Linux more accessible to all users. There's a push towards creating a more intuitive interface, simplifying the installation process, increasing compatibility with a wider range of hardware. These trends are not only shaping Linux, but the entire technology landscape. With its open source nature, Linux focuses on security, and that's a growing role in the cloud integration, especially with AI and machine learning, and increased user friendliness. Linux is poised to make a significant role in the future of technology. As we move forward, we can expect these trends to continue influencing the evolution of Linux, adopting and innovating in response to the changing needs of users in both industry and home. These trends are not only shaping Linux, but the entire technology landscape as well. So let's fast forward a bit for 5 years from now, and let's look at what Linux could look like. Imagine a world where Linux has only grown stronger, more versatile, and yes, even more user-friendly. Picture this. Desktop environments have evolved. They are now more intuitive and easier to navigate. The days of being a coding wizard to harness the power of Linux are quickly becoming a thing of the past. That's not to say that the power and flexibility that we have come to know and expect of Linux are compromised. Far from it. The core essence of Linux remains, but it's now wrapped in a more approachable package. Imagine having a wider array of applications at your disposal, all optimized for Linux. The software ecosystem flourishes with more developers recognizing the value of creating for Linux. This leads to improved app availability, making Linux an even more attractive choice for users. We're also looking at a future where Linux is seamlessly integrated with cloud services and storage. The growth of cloud computing is undeniable, and Linux is poised to ride this wave. Expect to see Linux systems that are natively equipped to interact with that cloud, making data storage, retrieval, and sharing even simpler and more efficient, and perhaps even transparent. In the future, Linux also finds a wider adoption in specific sectors. The Internet of Things, embedded devices. Those are areas where Linux is expected to shine. With its lightweight nature and high configurability, Linux is an excellent choice for those devices. And let's not forget about package management and software updates. 5 years from now, we can anticipate advancements that make those processes more streamlined and hassle-free. Keeping your Linux systems up to date and installing new software could become as easy as a single click. So in 5 years, Linux could be even more powerful and accessible. The essence of Linux is openness. It's its flexibility, its security. Those are going to remain. But the way we interact with Linux and the places we see Linux fitting in are set to change. I think this is an exciting future to look forward to. So let's move the clock forward 10 years. And how might Linux evolve at that point? So the world of tech is ever changing, and Linux is no exception. It's always on the move, sometimes in controversial ways, and it's adapting and transforming. So let's take a peek at what Linux might look like 10 years down the line. Imagine Linux systems becoming more AI powered, not just with an assistant, but also one that knows your system inside and out, helping you to manage it, troubleshoot it, and even optimizing its performance. So it'll be like having your own Linux guru right there with you, ready to lend a hand whenever you need it. And these systems won't just be smart, they'll be learning. We're talking about self-learning systems that can adapt and optimize themselves to deliver peak performance and maximum security. It's like your Linux system is growing and evolving with you and your needs, learning from your habits and making itself better in the process. It's not just about the individual system. In the next decade, we can also expect to see increased focuses on interoperability. Linux won't just play well with other Linux systems, it'll play well with all sorts of platforms. We're talking seamless integration, smooth operations, and a Linux experience that's more inclusive than ever. And let's not forget about mobile and AR and VR. 10 years from now, Linux could be a major player in these spaces. Linux's flexibility, security, and open source nature has all the ingredients to take the mobile and AR/VR worlds by storm. Of course, these are just predictions. The future is vast and uncharted place, and as Yoda said, always uncertain the future is. But the Linux journey through it will be shaped by countless factors. One thing's for certain, Linux isn't going anywhere. It's been a staple of the tech world for decades. It'll continue to be one for decades to come. So what does this future look like? It's a world where Linux is more intelligent, more adaptable, and more integrated than ever before. It's a world where Linux isn't just a part of the tech landscape, it's at the heart of it. 10 years from now, Linux may be at the heart of our digital world. And if we really want to dare to dream, what would Linux look like 15 years down the line? Imagine a world of Linux deeply entwined with artificial intelligence. AI won't just be a tool that's running on Linux, it could be a part of Linux's core kernel, at the heart of the system. The deep integration could lead to self-optimizing systems, where Linux learns from its environment and adapts, providing a level of performance and security that's tailored to your needs. Our systems could become more modular, adaptable, and personalized more than ever before. I kind of look at this as it could be a pluggable architecture, or it could be a Lego style architecture, where we've started to see this with the Pi, where you can plug hats into it to gain functionality. I think that's going to only increase over time. So Linux could evolve from a one-size-fits-all model to a more flexible system that's easily reshaped, reconfigured to suit different applications or different user requirements. So this adaptability could extend to all corners of our digital lives, from the devices we carry in our pockets to the infrastructure that powers our cities. Now think about the significance of security and privacy in our digital future. As our lives become even more interconnected, the need for secure computing platforms only grows. Linux, with its open source nature and community-driven development, could certainly lead the way in creating advanced encryption techniques. Now, think about the significance of security and privacy in our digital future. As our lives become more interconnected, the need for secure computing platforms will only grow. Linux, with its open source nature and community-driven development, could lead the way in creating advanced encryption techniques and privacy-focused solutions. With Linux at its core, our digital world could become a safer place. And lastly, envision Linux's role in future tech. Think about the Internet of Things, robotics, virtual reality, and even technologies that haven't been invented yet, like BCI, brain-computer interfaces. Linux, with its flexibility, security, and open source ethos, is well positioned to be the foundation of these future technologies. It could power everything from smart homes and autonomous vehicles to advanced robots and immersive virtual worlds. In 15 years, Linux could be as integral to our lives as electricity is today. It could be the invisible force that powers our devices, safeguards our data, paves the way for technological innovation. But remember, this isn't a certainty. It's just one possibility. A possibility that depends on the choices we make, the technologies we adopt, and the values we uphold. Yet, like any journey, the path to this future won't be without its challenges. Every evolution comes with its own set of hurdles and problems, and Linux is no exception. One significant challenge lies in the fragmentation within the Linux ecosystem itself. With numerous distributions and versions, achieving a unified, seamless experience is going to be a daunting task. This fragmentation could lead to inconsistencies, hampering user experiences and slowing down the progression toward a future where Linux is a household name. And there's the ever-present issue of security. As Linux continues to grow and evolve, so too will be the threats against it. In a digitally interconnected world where cyber threats are becoming more sophisticated, maintaining security in this rapidly evolving landscape is a challenge that cannot be underestimated. This is especially true when considering the open source nature of Linux, which, while its greatest strength, can also be a potential vulnerability. Attracting new users and developers is another challenge. While Linux is beloved by many tech enthusiasts and professionals, its adoption by the general public has been much slower. Making Linux even more user-friendly and appealing to a broader audience will be a key factor to its future growth. Well, let's not forget the challenges that often bring opportunities for Linux. These opportunities are abundant. One such opportunity lies in the sector of robotics and automation. As these fields continue to grow, Linux, with its flexibility and robustness, could become the operating system of choice for these advanced technologies. Open source innovation also presents a significant opportunity. The open source nature of Linux allows for a community-driven approach to problem solving. This collaborative environment can foster new solutions, pushing the boundaries of what's possible with Linux. In an increasingly digital world, there's also the opportunity for Linux to become the de facto standard for secure computing. And I think in order for it to do that, it's going to have to unify this vast collection of security tools so that there are fewer tools that manage the entire ecosystem of Linux. With its robust security features and the potential for advanced encryption techniques, Linux could certainly set the benchmark for secure computing in the future. Despite the challenges, the opportunities for Linux are immense. As we look to the future, it's clear that Linux has the potential to play a pivotal role in shaping the future of technology. I think this is one of the most exciting pieces of the journey and one that's only just beginning. So, as we look to the horizon, the future of Linux is both exciting and promising and worrisome. The ongoing commitment to open source security and user friendliness is what sets Linux apart from the rest. In the next 5 years, we can expect to see more user-friendly desktop environments, seamless cloud integration, a wider adoption in sectors like IoT and embedded devices. And as we move towards the 10-year mark, anticipate AI-powered assistants that are more than just answering your questions, placing your grocery orders. These are self-learning systems, and they have Linux at the heart of it, and they are a significant player in the mobile and AR and VR spaces. 15 years from now, we're looking into deep AI integration with the Linux kernel, advanced encryption techniques, and Linux taking a pivotal role in future technologies and infrastructure. Yet the road ahead is not without its challenges. Fragmentation within the Linux ecosystem and maintaining security in a rapidly evolving landscape are just a couple. But with challenges come opportunities, like growth in sectors such as robotics and automation. Open source innovation fosters new solutions. The future of Linux is a journey, and it's one I'm inviting you to join. So before we wrap this up, let's answer some questions that I've seen on the channel in the past about Linux's future. And it's kind of natural to wonder, for instance, will Linux ever become mainstream on the desktop? Is this the year of the Linux desktop? So yeah, I don't know how many times that's been asked over the last 3 decades. So as Linux continues to evolve, I think its user-friendly nature and increased application availability, those will be the things that help make it a wider viable choice for everyday users. Another question that's often asked is how will Linux maintain its security as it grows? Well, I can tell you that security has always been a cornerstone of Linux. It's always been its top concern. Many of the best security researchers all over the world use Linux in their research. So as technology advances, I think Linux's security measures will advance right along with it. Expect to see innovative solutions, machine learning-based defenses, and continued commitment to open source transparency. So, what are the questions have I seen? Where do I get started? I want to contribute to Linux, but I'm not a developer. Well, the beauty of Linux lies in its community. So, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a developer if you're a graphics designer or a good writer, or you're just a fan and you want to help contribute in whatever ways that you can. Those could be anything from submitting patches to designing graphics or testing different distributions and systems as they come out. It could be as simple as just spreading the word about Linux to other people. Every effort counts. As for what resources are available for those wanting to learn more about Linux, I'll put a list down below of different online tutorials, forums, courses, and areas on GitHub, and then probably a smattering of YouTube channels that will help you along with learning in your path to understand Linux and how it can solve problems for you. Lastly, what's the best way to keep up with the future developments of Linux? Subscribing to Linux news sites, joining the user groups that are friendly towards new people, and following key figures in the Linux community on social media. Those are all great ways to stay informed. Remember, the future of Linux is not set in stone. It's shaped by the collective efforts of us, the community. So as we steer into the future, Linux's flexibility, resilience, and commitment to open source principles will continue to guide its evolution. Stay curious, stay informed, stay tuned as we progress down the line. Hope to see you in a future video. I'm DJ Ware, and this has been the Cyber Gizmo. Bye for now.